Hi everyone, my name is Anika and I'm a rising junior from the Harker Upper School. For the past 3 weeks, I've been working on a Smart Mirror project. The Smart Mirror is a Raspberry Pi project and it's something that I've never worked with before. A Raspberry Pi is a small computer which plugs into a monitor, and basically the Smart Mirror displays some information from the monitor and we can see it on the mirror. I chose this project because I wanted to make something practical to my everyday life and something that I would really use. The Smart Mirror is very practical to me because it would display my daily tasks, the time and date, and a few other things. The base project displayed a very simple version of what I wanted to make, and it had a pop-up giving the name, date, and time. After making the base project run, my first milestone was complete and I started to work on my modifications. So now I'll share my screen to show you guys what my Smart Mirror looks like. So you can see here at the uh, top left, the time and the date. This was the most simple thing because it was very similar to the uh, code, the base code. And below that, it's the to-do list. That was probably the hardest component because I had to connect it to my Google Calendar. And as you can see from the calendar, all of the events here are listed right below. And it's the first 5 events that show up. Next to that is the photo album. This is probably my favorite component because it's a slideshow of pictures that keeps changing every couple seconds. And yeah, this was also pretty easy to code. A few other things is that I didn't get to finish all the components that I wanted to make because of the time constraints, but I am thinking about adding some music component and a text notification thing so that I can like get more onto this Smart Mirror. The part that I struggled with most was setting up my Raspberry Pi because when I was setting it up, I didn't have a keyboard, so it took a long time to get it connected to the Wi-Fi and to set up SSH and VNC. What I learned from this project was how to use APIs. And basically an API allows two applications to talk to each other, and I use it to get my Google Calendar tasks visible on the monitor. My favorite part of the project was getting the base project to work because that felt like the most significant milestone for me. Once I got to that point, I was really excited to add my modifications to the Smart Mirror. And yeah, I learned a lot of new things here, and I'm really looking forward to working on more projects like the Smart Mirror, which I can incorporate into everyday life. And I really enjoyed making this project, and I'll pursue programming more in the future. And thank you guys for listening. Does anyone have any questions for me?
I have a question. So, at what point were you like in the beginning? You were probably like, oh, was I don't know really know how to use Raspberry Pis or something like that. But what point did you like really switch where you're like, oh, I'm comfortable now and like I think I can do this?
Yeah, for the first few days, I was really like overwhelmed with how to set it up because I wasn't sure what to do. But once I did get like my Raspberry Pi set up fully, I was feeling much better about it because I was like, oh my God, I finally got it to work, and I was really proud of myself.
Awesome.
Does anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, so you kind of mentioned it, Greg, that your mindset changed. Do you think you said that you wanted to implement some other items before? Do you think you would want to do that in the future, or do you think you want to just leave it the way that it is?
I think right now I'm happy with the way that it looks like, but I do feel like I could add more to it, especially the music component, because I feel like that would also be useful for me because I really like listening to music.
I have a question. What limit is there, if any, to what you can access or use on the smart mirror?
I think that as long as there's like an API or something like a Google Calendar to access stuff, there's no limit onto what I can make on the smart mirror. But yeah, if there's no other questions, thank you guys again for listening.